Hi, Wanderlusters. It is live at 5. I am like ultra washed out. No, it's just one of those days where I'm just sitting in front of a window looking like a ghost. All good. So I would love to hear if you are watching, listening, pop it in the comments. I honestly really appreciate it. It is super weird, like speaking into a camera and having no idea if anyone is listening or watching or catching the replay. So let me know, say hi. I just really appreciate it. I am Rebecca. Oh, I got a heart. Some kind of heart just floated across the screen. Thank you. I love you too. I'm Rebecca. I'm the Wanderlust VA. I run the Laptop Freedom programs, which are training mentorship programs for starting your virtual assistant business. Hey, Laptop Freedom babes. Wanderlust. This is Hello from Greece. Hello. Every Wednesday I do a live free training. Hi, Mackenzie! And normally I do it with a cocktail, as you all know, because it's 5 o'clock somewhere, which means it's happy hour. We're not doing a cocktail today. This is the first live at Fiverr. Rebecca's bringing in a shot, except I'm not going to do the whole shot because let me tell you about it. Hi, Stephanie. Hi, Kate. Oh my God. Hi, guys. I have to introduce this stuff to you and let me know if you have tried it. It is called Jägermeister Cold Brew. No. I know you're like, ew, Rebecca, Jägermeister. I did too many Jaeger bombs in college and the smell of black licorice sends me over the edge. I know. This is Jägermeister with Arabica bean coffee and some cocoa or something. And guys, it's not that bad. It's actually kind of good. You can put it in coffee. I'm gonna take a sip of it. We'll probably, it'd be like weird to take a shot of, but anyway, I should stop talking about alcohol. My lives at 5, but cheers to happy hour. And let me know if you've heard of this Jägermeister cold brew. Okay. Whew. Doesn't make it any less weird. Okay, super excited. I got some people saying hi. Thank you. Today's, hello Ashomia, so glad you're here. Today's live training is the 6 things you don't need to start your VA business that I most commonly hear women say that they either wonder if they need it or they say like, hey Rebecca, I'll get started just once I have these things. And I'm like, guess what? These are 6 things that you don't need, and I really, really hope, my goal is that it gives you peace of mind. It like creates a sigh. It's like, oh, thank goodness, the barrier of entry for this thing is not that bad. It's all in my head. Okay, so we'll jump in. This might be a short training, and let me know if you have any questions in the comments. They do come up live, and I get to answer them, which is super fun. Okay, grab a cocktail if you have one. Thing number 1 that you don't need, thank goodness, because it costs so much stinking money, is you don't need any of this Adobe suite software that just like costs hundreds of dollars. Yay! You don't need it. You don't need Adobe Premiere Editor. You don't need Adobe, I mean, I don't even know a whole lot about it, but you don't need it. If you want to get into freelance graphic design or video editing design and stuff like that, it may eventually benefit you to get those, to invest in something like Adobe Suite, and then you expense it as part of your business. It's part of your business, you expense it. If you are a general VA and you are supporting your clients, a lot of that design juicy awesomeness comes from a great online platform called Canva. Let me know, give me a heads up if you're like, I've heard of Canva. If you're new to Canva, go check it out. It's awesome, canva.com. And it's really easy to use. A lot of design stuff comes from there. So if you are doing design for a client's business and you are using any kind of program or software, anything that needs to be paid for, the client pays for it and expenses it as part of their business. So I hope that kind of makes sense. Let me know. You don't need any of these like fancy editing, developing, crazy programs for you to be a virtual assistant and get started. Sweet. Yes. So glad you don't have to do that one. Okay. Number 2. You don't need an expensive laptop. Crazy. Should I say that again? You don't need an expensive laptop. Laptops are great because you can fold it up and you can take it traveling and you can be the digital nomad that we all want to be. But if you've got a desktop at home, you can use that. You can use that to get started. A fancy $2,000, $3,000 MacBook Pro Air with wings should not be stopping you from getting started. When it comes to laptops, quality, yeah, helps, and you can, business expense it again if you invest in a laptop for your business. But what is most important for your laptop is that it is fast. It's got fast upload, fast download speed. And that basically just means it's not going to slow you down. Most of your VA work is going to be happening on the internet. So your laptop itself doesn't need to store anything or hold anything or edit anything like that. So to start, you don't need a crazy expensive laptop. It doesn't need to be a MacBook Fancy Air. It should just, not slow you down. It should be able to upload and download. And if it can do those things pretty quickly, then that kind of means it's going to be okay for the starting of your VA business. So that is awesome, right? How many of you are, looking at getting a laptop, or you might not have a desktop computer? That's kind of the big investment that you still need to make into your VA business, is some kind of computer. Let me know in the comments. Other than that, if you have a desktop computer or if you have a laptop that is doing fine, it's not too clunky and slow, then you are ready to start. You don't have to get all that stuff to get started. If you want to invest in a cooler laptop later down the road, cross that bridge when you get there. You don't need these things to start. Okay, yay! Next thing. You don't need a private home office. I know a private home office would be great, but you don't need it. You can work from anywhere: cafe, library, friend's house, anywhere where your phone can get data. You can hotspot your internet onto your laptop from your phone. Your living room, I don't know why that took me so long to say living room, dining room, your couch, any of that kind of stuff. Setting, I do another free training on setting like boundaries with the people in your home so that you're still respecting and protecting your space. But you don't need some kind of fancy doodaddy private home office with plush couches. And I mean, we all want those things, but like I have a laptop. I don't have a external keyboard. I don't have dual monitors. I don't have anything. I don't have a home office. I just work from absolutely anywhere. So those are the kind of things that you don't need in order to start your virtual assistant business. Or if you're like me, like may never get it. Okay, home office. That's the last one. Next, I've got 3 more. Yeah, because private office was number 3. Next one is you don't need like a fancy vlog, webcam, studio closet, fancy light setup. You don't need that. I mean, think about me. I do a free training video every Wednesday, and right now it's off my cell phone. Sometimes it's just off my laptop. I don't have anything super fancy. I don't have like a fancy backdrop, you know, none of that. You don't need fancy lights. You know, you will have video meetings with your clients. So it's important that you have some way of being able to have a video meeting. Most phones do that. Most laptops now have some kind of camera on them. That's it. You don't need a home studio. Thank goodness. You don't even need like a fancy microphone. I'm using my Apple headphones, right? Great. Super low barrier of entry when it comes to fancy equipment. I'm not super fancy. Whatever works, works. Okay. 5, a business name. You do not need a business name. And here's why you don't need a business name. Some virtual assistants do have business names. You don't need one to get started. And I know a lot of virtual assistants choose not to have a fancy business name. They just use their name. It's like, hi, I'm Rebecca Mason. My email is rebeccamason@gmail.com. That's it. We don't need a fancy business name. You know, depending on what country you're in, when you go to, if you want to start an LLC or incorporation or whatever, down the road, those are things you can do down the road. Your country might have regulations on what you can name, but then you can just make one up. The nice thing is about sticking to your own name and not necessarily attaching virtual assistant to the company name is, one, if you use your name, then we know who the hell we're talking to. It feels personable. I know you don't have a team of 5 VAs behind you, so stop saying we at Virtual Assistant Solutions. It's like, Rebecca, I know it's just you. I want to talk to just you. I'm hiring you as a freelance contractor. That makes it easier. Your name's in the email address. It's amazing how many emails I get from people and they don't sign off on them. And I'm like, what is their name? And then I go to their email and I'm like, their name's not even in their email. Like, who is this person? So it really helps if you just stick with your name to start. You don't need to pick a name and then brand it. I mean, what if you want to change your mind? And then that's my other suggestion. You don't need to tack on virtual assistant to your email address or to your name, because so many virtual assistants end up expanding off to something else. They end up becoming OBMs, they end up becoming social media managers, they end up becoming tech experts. And so if you limit yourself by saying, we are Cloud9 virtual assistant solutions, then you've really locked in what people are searching you for. So if you use your name, I know who you are, it's much more personal, and then you can take your business wherever you want it to go. You definitely don't need it to get started. Don't stress over it. Oh my gosh, it's so stressful trying to come up with a name of a business that you're still building. Just stick with your name and it will be perfect. And if you want to do anything later, cross all of those bridges later. In the Laptop Freedom Program, I mentor really heavily on like crossing the bridges down the road when you get them. Whenever we look at the big picture, we want to start a virtual assistant business. Think of it as like me coming up to you and being like, okay, Rebecca, build a house. It's like, what? Like, that's so overwhelming. I don't even know, like, what is the house going to look like? Electrical and plumbing, like, no idea. It's such this overwhelming concept, right? And so if a mentor can come in, like we do in the Laptop Freedom Program, it's like, okay, we're going to build a house. First step, start with figuring out your budget and where you want to live. Step 1. Right? And so you break down the steps. Hello, Michaela. Thanks for hopping on. Michaela's in our Laptop Freedom Moms program right now. So it's break down those steps. So if you're thinking like, oh my gosh, I've got to come up with a name. I've got to come up with an email. I've got to build a website. I need to get a laptop and you do all these things. You don't, not to get started. And in fact, you may not even get those things down the road, but identify where the bridges are on your journey and only cross them when you get there. It's so freezing, like it's so stifling when you try to cross bridges before you even approach them. So the final and 6th thing that you don't need to start your virtual assistant business is our business cards, website, anything like that. You do not need them to get started. An easy, quick VA profile will suffice. In fact, they're way easier to navigate than a website. You don't need business cards. Check out my free training on my #1 networking tip for VAs, where I say no to business cards. And in fact, this is how you network. It's a really quick, simple steps to ensure that you're not waiting by the phone for unicorn clients. So those are the 6 things. If any of those things are coming up for you and you're like, Rebecca, you caught me. You called me out. I was using one of those 6 things as reasons to not get started, or self-limiting beliefs, or I was cock-blocking getting started by one of these 6 things, then let me know in the comments. You're human. You're normal. So let me just recap them. You don't need crazy Adobe software or anything fancy editing daddy programs on your laptop. You don't need a really expensive laptop. You don't need a private home office. You don't need a studio webcam lighting set up with a snazzy backdrop of the Bahamas. You don't need that. You don't need a business name, and you don't need business cards, website, business page. All of these things that are just like stopping you from getting started, you don't need, luckily. So we cover all of this in the Laptop Freedom Program. How to just get started. I want you getting clients. I want you making money. That's it. That's all I want. So we remove all of those barriers of entry. Okay, show me. I'm watching you right now from my closet, and this is where I'll be working from. Yes! You are my hero. She's got a home closet. I am currently in my bedroom because I just had a feeling that my neighbors were going to walk in my door, and like, that's too weird. I don't want to set myself up like that. So far no one has, but so here I am in my room, and it's totally fine. So I'm so glad you guys are hopping on. Check this Jägermeister cold brew out if you're into coffee and all. It's weird, but in a good way, I promise. And if you have any questions about this training, let me know. Check out the media button at the top of the Facebook page for all of my other free trainings that I do every Wednesday about how to start your virtual assistant business. Okay, bye.